you trying to tell me that he can't play in the league right now? Really?
I mean, that's the question, right?
I'm saying.
And you think,
but it's not like it's politics. And it is what it is. Like I said, I appreciate the years that I played. Now life goes on.
Terrell Owens is 44, still thinks he can play in the NFL, and like Colin Kaepernick, is being blackballed. Dominique, you agree?
Yeah. I do. I don't know if he could still play at the level that he played before, but I think his point about being blackballed is accurate. His last season, he started only 11 games, had 983 yards and 72 receptions. 983 yards would put him at 14th in receivers in the league right now. And that's just from 11 games. Like, when he stopped playing, if he still wanted a job, the reason why he wasn't getting a job wasn't because he wasn't good enough. It was because he was being blackballed. And maybe it's for different reasons, but actually maybe it's for the same reasons, is that people believe that having Colin Kaepernick in the locker room will cause some sort of distraction, which I think is absurd. I think the same thing could be said about why people did not bring Terrell Owens in back in 2011, why he may not get a chance. Well, he seems to have accepted that he's not going to get another chance. I do think it's ridiculous that he thinks he can run sub 4.5. That's nonsense. But aside from that, I think he is getting blackballed. I don't know how you can argue with that looking at the numbers and given the career that he's had.
I'm just, real quick, Dominique, I'm just trying to look here on the season statistics you just referenced for Terrell Owens.
All right,
are we talking about his season? Are we talking about his season with the Allen Wranglers in 2011? Which one is the last one we're referring to?
Man.
There was a cup of coffee with the Seahawks.
I know what you're talking about.
In 2012.
His last. His last season as a starter. His last season as a starter in the NFL, he had 11 starts for Cincinnati, and he had 983 yards, 72 receptions. He's good enough to get a shot in the league, and he didn't get it. And you know, to be honest with you, you can't be honest and say that the reason why he stopped playing was because he wasn't good enough. You're going to sit here and look into that camera and lie to me and say Terrell Owens stopped getting jobs because he wasn't good enough.
No, I'm only here to be honest, and that's why I'm just trying to clarify. I'm glad that I now know we weren't talking about his statistics with the Allen Wranglers.
Nicely
done,
just
to be clear.
Nicely done. Nice
in
redirect.
2011.
Let's get back to it.
It's a year, what you're referencing is the year before that with the Bengals, which would have been in 2010. So you're referencing statistics from 7 years ago, not 6 years ago with the Allen Wranglers, 7 years ago with the Cincinnati Bengals. That's our evidence for the fact that Terrell Owens is being blackballed because he could play in 2010. And
why didn't he get a job in the NFL in 2011? Answer the question. Why didn't he get a job in 2011?
Just because I think it's so cute to pair these two together. I am the guy with recency bias accused of recency bias today because I don't reference Nick Foles' stats from 2013 and Terrell Owens' stats from 2010.
You're filibustering. You will not address the fact that he did not get back in the league, not because he was not good enough, because he was being blackballed. That's the only. Why did he have to go play for the Wranglers in 2011?
No, first of all,
because no one wanted him in their locker room. Well, the blackballing started then, and it continued all the way to now, and it even extends to him not being in the Hall of Fame, which is another travesty because people in the media do not like him or don't appreciate him the same as general managers and coaches, and they blackballed him from the NFL. They're blackballing from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I mean, you can make a joke about it. It's funny. We can talk about the Wranglers, but this is true.
We should.
He didn't make the sacrifices that Colin made, but he was in the same position where people did not appreciate his talent, because they thought that there was some other baggage coming with it.
All right, here's my counter to you. Okay, this is what I think it should be. It shouldn't be too complicated.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say Allen Wranglers again. I won't keep saying Allen Wranglers.
You have successfully stalled this whole segment,
listen,
Will.
Owens is talking about why he's not in the league this year, in 2017. He's saying he's being blackballed this year. He's saying he's like Colin Kaepernick this year. He's talking about his 40 time being 4.4 and 4.5. Well, 4.4 is right. 4.4 is the number to focus on because 4.4 is how old he is. He's 44 years old. The reason he's not in the league is because he's 44 years old, and when he was in the league, he was amazing. 5-time All-Pro last time in 2009. He was amazing, but he also did cause some problems in the locker room. As a Cowboys fan, I'm aware of this. You could have back then, a decade ago, a good argument on the cost-benefit of what Terrell Owens brings on the field versus what he does in the locker room. But at 44, That's not even a close debate. That's a cost.
We don't
benefit to
know.
no one. Look,
we don't know.
All
we
32
don't know.
teams.
We don't know.
This is easy math.
He has been blackballed from 2010.
32 teams.
He's been blackballed from 2010 until now. I agree with you. It's unlikely that a 44-year-old receiver can play, but we don't know because he was blackballed from then until now. Tom Brady's playing. He's figuring something out. Maybe T.O. can get on that TB12. What's that?
Are you being blackballed?
No, I'm not. I chose not to play anymore.
I'm not being blackballed.
Happy Kwanzaa to you,
There's a lot of 44-year-olds out here being blackballed. By the way, one last point on this whole blackball thing.
I mean, you're redirecting. I can redirect.
This whole thing about this blackball thing, it does suggest, by the way, to use that term, and I don't, to be honest, I didn't hear Owens say it in that clip, blackballed. He did compare himself to Kaepernick. This blackballed idea is that somehow everybody got together and made a joint decision.
No.
Hold on.
Everybody
can come to the same conclusion. Everybody can come to the same conclusion for their own reasons. And the fact that 32 teams have done the cost benefit on Owens being 44 years old doesn't suggest he's being blackballed. It suggests it's obvious.
Well, yeah, I guess we can disagree a little bit on the definition of it, but for them to come together and discuss it, I would think that would escalate to collusion. I would not say that the league colluded or the league colluded to keep him out of the league. I would say that they blackballed him by no one wanting him in the league and by general managers talking bad about him behind his back and also the media framing issues in a certain way. Not to say that he is not without fault. He deserves some criticism for the things that he's done, but I think that his talent, and this is where the Kaepernick comparison comes in. It's uncomfortable because I think Kaepernick sacrificed for something much bigger. It's uncomfortable to make those comparisons to say that T.O. is anything like Kaepernick. However, it's true that they both, at the peaks of their career, good enough to play, and even towards the end of their careers, good enough to play, but we're not getting chances to play because teams did not want them in the locker room. You can call that whatever assessment you want to call it, but it's not fair given what production they could offer to the teams.
All right, we have to agree to disagree on that one. Larry Fitzgerald is the oldest wide receiver in the NFL right now. He's 34 years old, 10 years younger. Coming up,
Molly, you didn't have to say that.
Richard Sherman went off on Seahawks fans.